Good afternoon. This is Andy Stevens with my Module 8 assignment for EDL 856. I chose to use Canva for this assignment. I used Canva quite a bit as a marketing teacher. We use it in my classroom a lot to create various marketing collateral and to do a lot of school projects. So I'm very well versed in Canva and how to use it. And I love Canva because it's so easy to use. So that's why I chose Canva. And I chose to do this assignment kind of in an infographic model. So to present the information pretty clearly and pretty easily. So to start, I broke it down into the internal and the external publics. I found that this was a pretty easy way to organize the information. And really the way it broke down to me, I thought about it in terms of businesses. So if the school district is represented metaphorically as a business, then the internal publics would be the employees of that business, might be the executives of the business, things of that nature. So from there, I then kind of broke it down into various groups that you would find internally in the business. I started with the cabinet level executives, so this would be people like the superintendent, the various assistant superintendents that we have, and then we also have a third level of management in our district called directors. And they communicate both with each other and with other staff in pretty common ways. They use email, meetings. Obviously, those meetings currently are virtual. Our superintendent manages a social media platform for both Facebook and Instagram. And then they also send out quarterly newsletters, especially when you think about like our assistant superintendent of human resources. She sends out a quarterly newsletter about any sort of employee benefits or compensation or any changes in that area, hiring events, things with lane changes and other pertinent employee information. So that's how our cabinet level executives are communicating down to staff and other stakeholders. From there, you also have the Board of Education. Poudre School District's Board of Education communicates with PSD employees really through three main ways. They maintain their own website where employees can go to gain information. They have their own email that you can email the board president directly. And then they have bi-weekly meetings that are open to any and all staff members. They also use these board meetings to frequently recognize successes by staff. And so that's how the Board of Communication is communicating. Site administrators, principals, assistant principals, and how they communicate with their staffs. Big shift here in the last 5 years has been away from meetings in my district and to going of more digital written communications. And so really we're looking at things like email, newsletters. In the last assignment I mentioned, we have the robocall system where administrators can record a phone message and send that out to a large group of people. Obviously, all certified and classified staff are evaluated yearly. So those evaluations serve as a communication tool as well. Staff to staff communication, colleagues at the building level at my high school where I teach. The biggest way that I communicate is actually via text message. I have a pretty large group of colleagues that I've worked with for a long number of years, and we just use each other's personal cell phones to text when and if we need something. Obviously, we have meetings and emails and the occasional phone call, but predominantly when I'm communicating with a colleague at school, it's going to be done via text message. And then with students and students and parents, the district will communicate via email to them. They also have a text messaging service that you can sign up for to receive text messages. And then obviously lots of different face-to-face opportunities, parent-teacher conferences, curriculum fairs, different social events that the district will host. So that's how the district is communicating internally to the various internal publics. When we think about Purdue School District and their external publics, again, metaphorically, if we think of the district as a business, the external publics are going to be the outside organizations that interact with the district on a daily basis, but are not necessarily working directly for the district. So obviously the biggest external public would be the various community groups. And our district does a great job of communicating with them in a lot of different ways. There's an email subscription that you can sign up for to receive district updates. A lot of social media interaction in these days. The board meetings are open to the public. We maintain a pretty comprehensive website. And then my district is unique in that we have a regional TV station called PSD TV that has won regional awards, production awards for their partnership with the community and the production of important school events like graduations and sporting events and things of that nature. So that's how Purdue School District communicates with the greater community as a whole. PSD also specifically targets working with businesses and local government through a platform that was developed called NOCO Inspire. And NOCO Inspire is basically a portal that businesses and nonprofits can sign up in, and then the district will basically use that portal to partner businesses with the school district for support and resources and opportunities for our students to augment learning through internships and apprenticeships and things of that nature. So we communicate with businesses a lot through that NOCO Inspire platform. Obviously, we send emails, we have meetings, phone calls to a lesser degree, but really these three are the main tools, mediums that our district is going to use to communicate with businesses and the local government. PSD has a very good relationship with our local newspaper, but they use a lot of various ways to communicate with local media, rather that be the newspaper or local radio, TV stations out of Denver. So they do that in a myriad of ways. They use social media quite a bit. They'll do interviews and issue press releases. They'll send email updates, especially if there is a live event happening where information needs to be getting out quickly and accurately. They'll utilize email for that as well. And then lastly, perhaps the most important, in my opinion, external public for the school district are the various safety organizations that we partner with. Fort Collins Police Department, Larimer County Sheriffs, Poudre Fire Authority are all primary organizations that provide safety for our students and staff. And obviously the most direct way to communicate with those organizations is through the phone by dialing 911. But we also have an entire department in the district that is focused on school safety. They have quarterly meetings with all of these safety organizations to ensure that we are up to date on all protocols and things of that nature. And then also we'll issue press releases anytime there's any sort of event or anytime there's any sort of need for a safety organization. The district will issue a press release to just keep everybody posted and aware of what's going on. So when we look at these different publics, I think it's really clear that our district does a wonderful job of communicating across all of the different stakeholders and groups that they work with. I think if we're really looking at who does it best, honestly, I'm very lucky at my school. I think our school administrators are awesome communicators and do a really good job of communicating not only to staff, but also to all of our various stakeholders like students and parents and community members. And so, I would give our administrators a round of applause for how strong of a communication protocol they have in place. On the flip side of that, our students are not very good communicators. Unless you're Snapchatting them, the odds of getting a response are pretty slim. And so I've taken it upon myself as a CTE teacher to really stress the importance of communication skills. And I do entire lessons on email protocol and when not to text versus face-to-face delivery. So while our students are maybe not the strongest communicators, I really feel it's valuable to try to help them learn and find better ways, because ultimately that's going to differentiate them when it comes to job interviews and other opportunities. So that's my information for Pruder School District and how we communicate with our various publics. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day.